Hello everybody, my name is Skhu Goodman Mayaba. I am with Nozibele, who is the YouTube channel host. Thank you so much for your invitation. I'm back, not by popular demand.
No.
I have a new hairstyle, as you can see. My hair is a bit black and I'm loving it because it's winter in South Africa.
You need to cut your hair. That's what we need. We need a separate video for you to explain, Mana, why all of a sudden. You know what? Okay, let's just get this out of the way. No. But then, like, what's different about, like, I'll say the last year or so is winter, like in comparison to the winters that I've spent with you for the last 6 years.
Probably the winters that we've spent together, I was or you were on sabbatical. I can show you all the photos of me in winter. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
We met 2016.
Yes, I've always had hair in winter.
2016, 2017, 2018, 2019.
Yes, I can show you those photos.
4 years together.
I'm gonna
I will spend together. But I will just go. And you want, okay, can I tell? Also, you've been dying all this time, all these 4 years, from 2016 to 2019.
I've had white hair since I was 27 years old.
Yes, good.
So I'm now 44,
Did you,
43.
Were you dyeing your hair? 44?
No.
Dude.
And I have not been dyeing my hair.
Yes.
I agree on that. Because normally as it grows, it then, well, the color would change. But ever since I moved to a new environment, that affected my hair a bit.
Can I say something? I don't know. Life is very fun. Like that I can tell you. Because my dad, let me tell you, my dad had this obsession. He had long hair, and back in the days he had an afro, and he used to perm his afro, right? And then now, as time goes by, obviously afro went out of fashion, particularly for men. And then he started obsessing over like dyeing his hair.
And the cut.
And he had a very specialized cut. Very specialized cut, guys. And after cutting his hair, after that he dyes his hair, and lo and behold, it's very funny that after my dad passed away, you carried the tradition of dyeing your hair. It was right after Uskosi passed away. All of a sudden you have an obsession of dyeing your hair. I'm very young. I'm not to be like associated with those things.
I look good in my new hair.
Skhu, you need to cut your hair.
I'm handsome for a change.
You're very handsome when you've cut, like when you're bald.
Yeah,
I've always told you that you're handsome when you're bald.
You telling me that I'm handsome?
Oh my gosh, you know what? Let's start the video. Okay, so today, guys, we want to speak about a topic pertaining to marriage, as usual. So a couple of months ago, you remember we were in church, and so the pastor had just concluded his sermon, right? And then there was an engagement that happened in church. And then the pastor went on and about, I feel like prophesying so that the sisters in church can be seen, so that the God may take away the mud on the brothers' eyes and they may see their wives in church, And it was all under this thing, but as a sister, you must be sought after. You can't be asking for marriage. And then I kind of related it to our own story in terms of how we went about actually getting married. How did we actually really come to the decision of actually getting married? We got married April 2019. We met April 2016. Let me ask this before we even get into the topic. When did you know that, okay, I'm going to marry this girl? As crazy as she is, I'm going to marry her. When did you know?
So when we finally went home to Lusigisiki, and my mother said, I approve.
Duh.
Then I decided to put more money in my savings account, so that.
Okay, but then before we went to Lusikisiki, where was it there? Were you unsure?
Truth is that I wasn't sure that we were destined for marriage.
Okay.
There were signs that, obviously the next day I still want to see myself with you. So that was there, and the conversations that I was having with Ufezi on the side from time to time. I mean, it was about us being together forever. So, but it was important for me that I do things the right way, and I also take you home so you understand the environment where I grew up, and my siblings, and as well as my mom.
Okay.
So that when the time comes, you don't get shocked.
Okay.
So I would say, so at the time, it was like, 60-70% of the decision I had already made. But it was important that I be helped in endorsing the decision that I had taken.
I can believe that it was around about 2018, because also that was the time it's true, that was the time I went to your home, and that was the year you proposed. It's very funny because before then I was pretty much sure, like after a couple of months, okay, even when we were on sabbatical, there was a period where we broke up, guys. We needed a separate video for that, by the way.
And when you were on sabbatical, when you went out for coffee with a boy and you took a photo, you loaded you uploaded it on Facebook. And I still want to know about that photo.
It's cool. It's fine. Let's lay it all on the floor.
Yeah.
Do you tell me? I will lay it all on the floor.
What is the topic again? Okay, let's talk about it.
Okay, so I knew, like a couple of months after I met you, no, listen, this is actually someone that I see myself getting married to. When we celebrated our first anniversary together, I asked you, like, when are we getting married? Like, when are you marrying me? Whether or not, like, is it something that you've, thought about and all of those things. And I always find you very wishy-washy. Very wishy-washy. If you're not talking about money, if you're not talking about the fact that 2 years prior, like you were in a marriage, can you please explain yourself?
Explain it now for you.
Explain in terms of like what were your fears? Like, why were you afraid to commit? Yeah, it's very important that I understand.
Sure. So as you said earlier on, yes, I was married, and so at the time we met, so that marriage was still on top of my head. So at the time we met, I mean, I never thought that I would go back to that institutions now. So my fears were, I was still starting afresh, regrouping, and I at the time did not have anything. Now I'm now talking about, from I was emotionally not ready, if I may just put it bluntly. It was also about what if you are a rebound. Is it a rebound?
I got to school, how can I be a rebound? Because there are many short-term contracts that were before me. So I can't be a rebound, Kalok. Saying about a rebound is when you get out of one relationship and then you go into another relationship very quick. So in between him now, the marriage and me, there are many short-term contracts.
What do you mean?
A short-term contract?
No. It's a similar way you had put it previously. It was just, my ability to effectively manage programs.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that was a rebound, Galo. Your rebound period.
It's the projects that I was just managing at the time. It's not a rebound.
So a real relationship would have been a rebound. That doesn't make any sense. So when I started now asking you, when you were in that space still, about marriage, did you feel like I was pressuring you? Did you feel like like what was going through your mind?
Yeah, subconsciously, so when you mentioned that when I'm marrying you, the bad side of marriage flipped as opposed to, the good side
Okay.
or what lies ahead about marriage.
Okay.
So that's what basically happened. Thought about the road, because remember, I had traveled the road, so I knew the ins and outs of it. So that then clicked, and I realized, do I want to be in that, or to find myself in that situation once again?
And do you feel that as a woman, because as I said, referring to what the pastor was saying, but Tina, we mostly get chased, and we are not supposed to be asking about the incidents, about marriage and all sorts of stuff. Do you feel I was within my right as a partner, as a girlfriend, to talk about marriage and talk about when are you marrying me?
Personally, I believe that every man needs to be assisted in thinking along those lines. So otherwise, if you don't ask those questions, so by the time a man eventually decides that they're marrying you, you would be maybe tired. So so unikezela soze ndihambe mina ndisikhwenkwane isiculo lamampondo ndichaza uba ndihleli apha ke noba indoda yenza ntoni nangam. At the time we were dating, I was not thinking about that at all. But the minute you asked, yes, the negative side of marriage popped into my mind, but at the same time I was able to actually imagine, visualize and think about this.
So you're saying, man, like woman can.
So yes, and actually I would encourage each and every one to ask. You have every right to know where the relationship is going to, because remember, when you date, normally the person that spends the most in a relationship is supposed to be a man. So if a female, spends in that, I don't expect a female to spend on something that they don't know where it's leading to.
More for investing.
At least you need to know, even if you're not getting married the following day or year, but at least you need to.
You're working towards that.
So you need to know the road that you are both creating, where it's actually leading up to.
Okay. From your experience, like from friends, from families, like what's the common thing that's there when it comes to men hesitating about marriage?
Ayikho into esiyoyika njengokuba kukubanjwa ngempumlo. Kuthiwa ngiqonga impumlo kulawulwa. And yet it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. So when you are inside, because kakade thina sizi hunters by nature, so we go astray. So it's important that siyaqokolelwa ngabantu bethu. Yabona ke lonto le xa siyithetha singamajita, when we are talking about it as boys, so we think about this, we imagine and say, think about, I'm now actually will have to ask before I get a cigarette. So how is this thing gonna? So all those things, they pile up and you get so scared to actually commit. In other words. So yiloo nto le ayifear yam leyo.
I share like when it was what now 2017, like mid 2017, or towards 20, like end of 2017, beginning of 2018, when we now went to your home, El Sikisik, right? He says to me, he wants us to go to his home so that I can meet his mom, and basically see where you go.
And you jumped around. You said, you didn't hesitate.
Why would I hesitate?
You said we can actually go tomorrow.
Ah, you like lying.
Baby, I still remember very well.
No, but Skhu.
It was on a Thursday.
Skhu.
I said I'm thinking.
No.
I was
Can you
still
please
thinking.
tell the truth? You said to me, listen, it was probably like in the middle of the week or beginning of the week. You said over the weekend, I'm going home and I would like you to go with me. And I was like, oh, okay, fine.
I was still, I'm thinking.
Ah,
He said, okay, are you going
whatever.
with me?
Anyway, he said that we're going to his Lantuka hometown. I was like, no, it's fine. Because I look now, I want to see where I'm going to get
You
married.
were ready.
Of course, I will only see where I was getting married, even though the question was not popped. So the one thing that I was definitely sure about, because what had happened is there is also a level of men tend to manipulate the situation about getting married to their own advantage. And Nina, you're not afraid to go and introduce us to your parents, the whole family, having your phone numbers and all of that jazz. My ex-boyfriend did that. I was known by the mother, by the sister, by the brothers, and this guy already said to me, we'd like already set out a date. I even remember it was something along the lines of December 2020 and all of that. Yeah, man, we already said that he didn't even proposed or even lobolat me, and guys have that tendency. So I was very sure, but he's sending me to his household. I don't care how many people had gone before me because the short-term contracts, but now that he's sending me, I'm not turning back.
So that's why you went there prepared.
I went prepared. I can't, Galok. You can't take me. I never asked you.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, from us, we don't shy away from taking you to our
Why
parents,
do you guys do that?
and we don't hesitate for that.
Introduce us to the whole family. Introduce to the uncles. They even call you the makoti of this house, but you haven't even been a lobolat. 2 months down the line, the guy brings another one, and this one is the makoti now.
So what? In case, okay, we don't, commit, but we make babies. So in case, well, my siblings need to know. But the day I pass away, okay, we only know of this one child, but I think there's another one.
That makes no sense. Makes
no
no sense at all. Now I was.
Baby, as abazi secret.
Yeah.
It's like umalatis. Ubano zazi secret zakhe.
Me.
Ungafumaniswa into zaziwa nguwe ngaye inkosazi akazazi.
That doesn't make any sense. I'm just saying, but I was ready and I was definitely sure you're not going to send me like 6-7 hours away on a bumpy road and right in the middle of a rural area and not marry me. I saw the galok. And then I went there, guys. I met Skhu's mom. And I became a makoti then. Guys, I was wearing a long dress. Yeah, but he hadn't even proposed to me. I was wearing a long dress. I made sure that this woman, my mother-in-law, must envision me as a makoti of this. I didn't even have to cover my head, but I covered my head when I was there. And I cooked supper. No, actually I had bought takeaways, Nando's. And carrot, red velvet, my mom-in-law's favorite cake, red velvet. And then in the morning I did the breakfast and I did the lunch so that she knows my capabilities. By the end of that day, she was asking him when are they going to my household. That's when I knew, but if this one is not serious, then I know my mother-in-law is going to push. I go ask her, look, you can't keep on doing that. And that's how, okay guys, that's when things started looking a little bit positive, because a couple of months later, that's when I got my proposal. Well, talking about that, because I don't feel like it was a proposal.
Me and proposal,
How did you even propose?
Well, basically I was just telling you that my uncle is actually going to come to your home.
I actually find that very offensive, because Galoku, we had talked about, you know the kind of person I am. Dramatic, animated, like we've watched romantic movies, particularly about people proposing. So you know what I like.
Yazi ngikusizele sometimes.
Yeah.
Because ibukela kakhulu i-TV.
The man tinga.
Ucingela ba izinto sokwenzeka into yase-TV nase-TV.
What can I say? Tell them, how did you propose? What did you do? What was going through your mind actually?
Yathatha i-ring that was in the car, and I went to the shop. I bought an engagement one, and
Hello guys, so
wrote a letter.
Wait. I purposely, I had these fake rings, like I bought from Mr. Price and stuff like that. So I used to like purposely leave them in his car or around the house, so that because Galogi needs to know my ring size. Another tip, ladies, must make sure that's thing, like I'm giving you free advice, no pay. You must make sure you go to Mr. Price or those jewelry shops. And then because Galoko, how else is he gonna know your ring size? Okay, so I purposely will leave them everywhere, and then in his car, in his gym bag, like everywhere, and that's how he got my ring size.
So I went there and I bought this and I wrote you a letter. I did not say I'm proposing in that letter.
The ring was enough. You didn't need to say anything.
You didn't even.
I didn't read the letter.
I
didn't read the letter.
Dear Nosy, thank you so much for being part of me. For now. And I even underlined for now. I said, please take this ring and wear it. It is a promise that one day I will marry you.
I don't play with 1 day. I need dates. Like I need a plan, an action plan. You proposed July of 2018, right? So when I went to, like, he said he was not even there, guys, when I saw the ring. He sent me a message, like he was out of town, and I've been staying at his place. He sent me a message that there's a surprise on my side of the bed. I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. And I think to myself, maybe it's like it's a dress or whatever. And then when I opened it was a small box, and I knew it was a ring. So I was jumping up and down alone in that damn house. He was not even there. And then I did read something like this is a promise, see, blah 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 blah. I'm like, this guy is crazy. Like I am fully promise ring him. This better be an engagement ring. And when you came back, we started now trying to discuss
okay. What you funny statements I'm ufuna ukubona ba imali nesendiyisavile.
Skhu, you can't. No, but then you can't, because that's another thing we need to speak about. Why did you propose, but then you still there's still gonna be another process, another couple of years for you to save to get married. When you propose, that means you're ready to get married. Skhu. So now we're discussing, and it came back. At first, you were not even keen about discussing the whole engagement. I'm like, dude, I'm wearing this ring, okay? I'm wearing this ring, so when is the wedding? I wish you were, she said, I swear. Guys, he also was wishy-washy, he's still saving. I'm like, Mokai. I'm like,
there's a statement.
I'm like, Mokai, I don't play like that. I'm like, I'm not gonna get engaged for 5 years. Were you afraid that Ekaya, they will ask for a lot of money, or they'll expect a certain standard of a wedding that we were not prepared for at that time?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, imagining about the type of wedding. Now remember, I had gone to your church, and I was a regular at your home. Your mom knew me very well, and she would use me at any time. So the expectation that I had formulated in my mind was really quite high. I need to make sure that the lobola is relatively good.
Personally, for me, I feel like I just needed a conversation with myself. Pertaining to weddings, there's a lot that I saw with my brother's weddings, and with people from church's weddings, then I'm like, and I'm very grateful for that experience when I was school, because by the time now it was time for me to get married, I was like, I don't want to be in that situation. First of all, I'm not gonna go into debt over one day. That's not gonna happen. And secondly, like I already have or envision the type of wedding that I want. Very small, very intimate, and when it comes with lobola, I don't have an issue around the significance of what lobola means for both families. From what I understand, lobola is bringing two families together. It's a symbol of, oh, we are appreciative of, you raising such a fine daughter. Fine daughter, very clever, very beautiful. Yagonda, she's gonna make a great makoti and all of those things. I can understand that. Duh. Like I understand the significance. It's creating friendships and relations between the two families. But what I was careful about is that I want to make sure, I understand culturally, I have nothing to do with it. But at this present time, at this present age in our lives where we're more aware, this very same thing that is so sacred, that is so significant, it's not being used to compensate for something else. That's not what, that's where I was coming from. But guys, let's just have an honest conversation here. What does this all mean for you guys? And let's all understand that there's a life that I still want to live. After I get married. This is how I envision my life to be like. So I'm not gonna go into debt. I'm not going to do that.
A good decision on your side.
So what I would say for couples, that are in a situation where they want to get married but they're not sure about finances because they want a type of wedding, definitely then if there's an agreement between the two of you, but this is the type of wedding that we want, I'll definitely encourage that you can wait a bit, save up, for whatever amount of years that you want to get to that level that you want. But then the issue is when there's a difference between the kind of wedding that I want and the kind of wedding that you want. If I want an extravagant wedding, or even the opposite way, I want like a low-key wedding, and then when you want like a wedding where we're gonna spend 200,000,
I must have saved for that.
That's when the real issue, the problem is.
And that's the same advice I'd give to everyone. You must just make sure that your ideal marriage, because on that day you are just signing a contract. So it's important that you have saved for that. There is no debt that you've accumulated because you only wanted to sign on that dotted line. So forget about whoever is going to say what. It must just be about you and your person. And that's it.
How do the responsibility, get split? Is it under the impression, after you have paid the wedding, the bride's family is now responsible for the wedding?
Yes.
Oh.
And then you use the same money that was paid for lobola to prepare for that. So the guy will only prepare for the day uziswa.
When you are being okay.
So now they say there's white wedding and then there's traditional wedding. Traditional wedding actually happens on the day you are brought to the...
I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's the Western part of me. I feel like definitely there is an involvement of families between everyone. However, we live in very modernized times and all of those things. I still maybe it's me and I can be corrected, but now because we live in these modern times, I feel like there's a level of there's a discussion between the two of you about, okay, first of all, what type of wedding do you want? We do want a Western wedding, and we also want a traditional wedding. Okay, that's fine. What is our budget? Obviously there are certain things. For example, if I had to say, Bana, I also want to contribute towards my wedding. For example, I want to pick my own dress, and I don't want you involved. So I'll take care of my own dress and my bridesmaids and, or you know, my side of the family. You obviously now take care of, you know, the lobola, you know, because it's a more, you know, the pride of a man, you know, going to create relations to his bride's family and all of those things. I feel there needs to be some level of cooperation, because I feel that's also, that's one of the main things when men think about you know, getting married. They think about the sole responsibility of and I don't have the capability of having to carry all of that at this point in time.
That work, that needs to start even before you sign on the dotted line, because by the time you get to that stage, you already know umuntu wakho uba zihamba njani izinto. Many a times we fight after we got married because we have not tested ourselves prior to us getting married on a lot of things that involve decision making. That's when we fight.
Because now it's only being evident now that you have gotten married.
And then you, okay, this person. So it's important that you practice who you are even before you get married. I mean, it's a good thing that you did by showing me. And ndifuna ukwazi i-statement sakho, you know, I was earning peanuts at the time and
I don't care, but I still need to find out about, like, how are we navigating this thing? Yeah, gone, because Galo, you can't say you want to marry me and then the following thing you're saying, Bana, no, you're still saving. Why did you engage? Yeah, gone?
In the first place. If you don't have a plan.
It was when you're saying to me, Bana, you want to get married, here's an engagement ring. You're ready to get. In actual fact, we could be married tomorrow because Galo, you're saying to me, you're ready. Can't say now Skumuza's coming back and saying, Bana, he's still saving. Okay, no, it's fine. How much have you saved? Can we start with that? Yeah, it's very important. Let's start with that and then go work backwards.
So, I mean, yeah, well, advice is that we, as gents, we need to, you know, welcome those difficult questions when they come our way, because they are actually, you know, preparing us for the future. So, and we need to communicate more, be vocal more, and not communicate in silence, because your partner may not get that.
Anyway, guys, hope you did enjoy this video. And as good citizens who bought you this video, we are hoping there's gonna be wedding invitations shown.
Yeah, we haven't dressed up in a long time.
Please, it's very important.
Yeah. But now.
I know what you're gonna say.
Stop this thing of overdressing when you go to this.
I don't overdress.
Guys, when you invite her, just make sure that you tell her what to wear, in case she over dresses or she dresses.
Yes, I find
offensive. More beautiful.
I find offensive on today.
No.
So I went to this one wedding.
Yeah, I got a nose.
No, but it's not fair. I went to this one wedding. It was a simple dress. It was like nothing overly to top, and it was beautiful. And that person never spoke to me again. After I went to their wedding, I don't know what I did. Like,
Jens, I'm deep busy. Dine hairstyle kata eva. Yes.
Like I got the school. Like I find offense to that thing. Guys, please invite me to weddings. Like honestly, I don't understand. But that was one example that was very unfortunate, and it's okay. But guess it's better up. Now invite me to weddings, and I wanna be a bridesmaid.
Yeah.
No, actually, not even a bridesmaid. A matron of honor.
Okay, and just give her pink, plain pink, nothing else.
I can't do it. I must be very beautiful.
Even the hairstyle, you must just go buy a wig, a certain wig. She mustn't have her own hairstyle.
Guys, I can't help
the makeup as well. She mustn't do her own makeup or bring her own makeup specialist. You must.
Guys, I can't help with my aura. Like my aura, it comes out in
Yeah.
certain situations. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Bye.